Thank you for joining us for our webinar today, Implementing Dental Membership Plans. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that there's a chat feature for this webinar, and you can ask your questions at any time during the presentation. We'll answer all of the questions at the end of the webinar during the Q&A portion, but feel free to ask questions via chat as you think of them. Our presenters today are Laura Zock and Andy Slinger. Andy and Laura are CPAs and principals with SVA's Dental Services Group. Andy and Laura specialize in the dental industry and work with dentists on many aspects in their practices, including our topic today, dental membership plans. Andy and Laura help evaluate whether to establish a dental membership plan, develop the pricing models and reporting tools to evaluate the plan's success. Andy, can you start off by telling us more about SVA's dental consulting team?
Thanks, Jennifer. SVA's dental consulting team has over 40 years of experience. While we provide bread and butter tax and accounting services, really our expertise is working with dentists and dental specialists to consult and advise, maximize their profitability, minimize their taxes. Practice valuation right now is a hot topic. Always looking for fair ways to allocate income in the practice when there's multiple partners. And another hot topic these days is starting or buying or selling a dental practice. Laura, can you introduce our topic today and tell everybody what we hope to accomplish?
Sure. Thanks, Andy. Well, today we're going to talk about dental membership plans, which I would add to that list of hot topics you mentioned, Andy. We've seen blogs about them on the WDA, on the ADA website as well, so we thought it'd be a timely topic to bring to you all today. So what is a dental membership plan? Bunch of different names for the same thing here. You'll hear us refer to it as a dental membership plan today, but you've maybe also heard of it referred to as an in-house membership plan, a dental program or club, or an in-house discount plan. Because the most common name we hear of is dental membership plan, that's the term that we're going to use today. Or you might hear us refer to it as DMP for short. So our objectives for today are to cover the basics about dental membership plans. First, we're going to give you some background on what a dental membership plan is and what the key features are that you should consider. Next, we'll go through reasons why your practice should consider offering a dental membership plan, what benefits your current and future patients should see with a dental membership plan, and also the benefits that your practice should be after you've implemented a dental membership plan. And then we'll get into some of the gritties of establishing the plan. For example, what specific items do you need to decide on when you set up a dental membership plan, including how to price. We've got some tips to help you set the pricing on your plan, and then a couple special considerations to keep in mind as we wrapped up. As Jennifer mentioned, you can enter any questions you have as we go throughout this next 25 minutes or so, and Andy and I will leave a couple minutes at the end to answer your questions. Just go ahead and put them in the chat box as they come up or jot them down. But first, before we get further into this conversation, let's be clear on one thing about dental membership plans, and that is what they are not. The first important point for today is that dental membership plans are not dental insurance. They are many things, but dental insurance is one thing they are not. As you may already know, each state has its own department, director, commissioner, etc., that monitors and regulates state insurance markets. Here in Wisconsin, for example, we have the Officer of the Commissioner of Insurance, also known as the OCI. One of the key points of a successful dental membership plan is to make sure that you have set it up, designed it, and operated so that it's not considered under the rules of dental insurance. You don't want to make your plan subject to the rules of the OCI. That's a whole nother level of complication, rules, and regulations that no one here really wants to deal with. Now that we know what a dental membership plan is not, Andy, can you take a few minutes to tell us what it is?
Your dental membership plan is specific to your practice. So if a patient becomes a member, they can only use the benefits at your practice. They can't transfer this to another practice or use any of the benefits at another practice. Secondly, there's an annual fee that you'll set up in order for the patient to participate in your plan. And this fee then will cover a certain amount of procedures, and typically it's preventative wellness care, be the exam, cleanings, and x-rays for the year. In addition, participation in your plan will give your patients a set discount on additional procedures that are recommended, such as crown and bridge work. You will see different tiers of pricing depending on if the patient is an adult, a child, or a perio patient. And then lastly, you'll see some plans that offer an additional discount if you're able to sign up multiple members of the family, with the idea being you've got, you know, bigger volume, bigger access. Idea being that, you know, bigger volume, bigger access. Idea being that, you know, bigger volume, bigger access. Idea being that, you know, bigger volume, bigger access.
She was just starting to give instructions, I think. Is that on speaker?
We're getting some feedback. If people could mute their phones, please. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully that takes care of the echo or anything you're hearing on your end. Now that we've given you an overview of the plan, we should get into, you know, why. Why should you offer a dental membership plan? First of all, you have to understand that the number one excuse that a patient gives for not going to the dentist is they don't have dental insurance. You know, it's estimated that 46% of the U.S. population does not have dental insurance. So really, by putting together your plan for this patient base, it really eliminates that excuse, number one. Number two, it's a great way to increase patient loyalty. Okay, this is a plan specific to your practice, tied only to your practice. So once a patient signs up for your plan, they have a great incentive to visit you, and to not only visit you, but to maximize the benefits that they're getting. So they definitely want to keep their appointments and continue visiting. And lastly, you should see a reduction in canceled appointments, which is always a big concern for dental practices regarding profitability. Again, they've got an incentive to come to you, and it's basically use it or lose it. They don't use the benefits, they're still going to pay for them. Next, it's really easy access, okay? Anyone can participate, any patient can. Any practice can set up the plan. You don't have to worry about the employee qualifying for insurance, having to work a minimum number of hours for their employer. And you also don't have to worry about contracting with the insurance company. So it really, again, easy access for everybody. Lastly, it's really what I alluded to before. It shifts the responsibility to the patient. You know, right now, one of the things you're concerned about is recalls. So you're consistently reaching out to your patients and having them set up their next appointment. This really puts the onus on them to make their hygiene appointments, to make sure they are getting their preventive care, their exam, their x-rays. And you got to remember that another statistic is that on average, 18% of patients who have coverage for preventative care still don't go see their dentist at least 2 times a year. So by doing this, you take advantage of that and you make sure that you benefit from that instead of just letting the insurance company benefit from that. Laura, can you go through even more reasons to put a dental membership plan in place?
Of course. One of my favorite whys is it puts your practice in control. If you think about your typical patients, they have dental insurance. It comes with a fee schedule and reimbursement levels that have been set by the insurance company. And if you think about it from the insurance company's perspective, if their number of insured patients decrease, or if their costs rise, or if they need to increase their profitability for any reason, insurance companies can maintain or increase their profit by decreasing the patients to the dentist. With a dental membership plan, you, the practice, are setting your price with your own fee schedule, and you, the practice and the owner, are controlling the revenue stream. And there's no insurance company on these patients, because they don't have insurance. There's no claims to file. There's no work from your staff from that standpoint, and there's no complicated contracts to enter into or negotiate on throughout the term of your business. Another one of my favorite whys is using the dental membership plan as a marketing tool to attract new patients. A DMP is an attractive option to attract your cash-paying fee-for-service patients to your practice. It can build a secure future for your practice by providing a pipeline of new patients if you use it as a marketing tool. There's a lot of competition out there for new patients. You can set your practice apart by being the one that offers a dental membership plan. Or perhaps practices in your area are already offering dental membership plans, and you might want to consider putting one in place just to better compete for the new patients that are in your marketplace. We've also seen that another reason why relates to acceptance rates. DMPs increase acceptance rates on restorative and cosmetic work for a couple of reasons. One being the nice discount that the plan offers the members, and another one from the patient's perspective is the ease of understanding the membership plan. The membership plans are typically really clear about what's included in the membership fee and what's not, and what the percentage discount is available for. So it's not confusing like dental insurance benefits on the topics of what is covered versus what is excluded, benefit maximums, etc. And we see, as Andy explained, that patients are motivated to get in for their hygiene appointments since they've paid for it already, since it's like a gym membership and you're paying for it regardless of whether or not you go. And from the patient's perspective, they also like the membership discount. It helps them feel as if they're getting a good deal on the quality dental care that they not only need, but also that they want. And last but not least, it's affordable for the practice to set up a dental membership plan. They're relatively easy and inexpensive to implement and set up and administer. And if done correctly, there aren't the costs and complexities that go with having those patients on an insurance plan. But Andy, dental membership plans aren't just a great idea from the practice's perspective. Patients benefit too. What can you expect patients to see?
Yeah, these DMPs are really a win-win on both sides. On the patient side, they're affordable, okay? They get a set price for routine work. They know the price up front. There's no surprises. And then if additional work does come up during the preventative care phase, they're going to get a discount on those additional services. So number one, very affordable. Number two, it's budget friendly. We're going to talk about timing of payment in a little bit, but if you've got a patient who is on a set income or money's tight, you can set up these plans so that they can pay on a month-to-month or quarterly basis if necessary in order for it to be affordable for them. So budget-friendly. Lastly, clarity. We really see that patients love clarity. Those EOBs that they get, deductibles, out-of-pocket maximums, annual lifetime caps, those are very confusing for patients to understand. Your plan makes it very clear on what services they're going to get, when they're going to get those services, what they're going to pay for those services. So you're going to find that your patients really like the clarity that the plan will offer them. So now that I've explained really the benefits to the patients, who are those target patients? Who more than likely is going to sign up for these plans? The most obvious, and the one that we've already alluded to, are any of your patients that don't already have dental insurance through their employer, okay? That one's pretty clear-cut, easy to understand. Second one are your retired patients, okay? Some of them, a lot of them are on a set income. They have a tight budget. They may really like this plan and know what services they're going to get and set up the payment plan through you. Next, it could be a patient base where they have insurance through their employer, but it's too expensive. It's not affordable to them, or quite frankly, the benefits that they get are too little. They're not getting bang for their buck for their insurance coverage. The last group of patients that we find that like these plans are those loyal patients. They want to keep coming back to you. They really like the services that you provide. But unfortunately, you don't offer their insurance. The insurance that they have through their employer, you don't accept at your practice. So this gives them another alternative. They can elect out of their current insurance plan, and they can sign up for your dental membership plan. So Laura, can you go through now the additional benefits to the practice?
Of course. Really what we're trying to figure out here is why, from your own perspective, would you want to implement a dental membership plan? How does your practice benefit? Really, as I mentioned before, one of my favorites is a great marketing tool. What we've seen dental offices do is put the information about their dental membership plan right on their website so that patients who now are maybe searching for a dentist at home at night after they've gotten done with work or put the kids to bed, they can look at your practice 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you have your dental membership information out there, they can view that and then either call the next morning to sign up or become a patient to your practice. Or perhaps you're able to work with your website or a third-party provider who's helping you with the logistics of the dental membership plan to put a button or a sign-up option available through your website. Also, it provides consistent income and cash flow. Whether your dental membership plan is set up to have patients pay their fee on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis or even an annual basis, the dental membership plan will generate consistent and regular income for your practice. Even if the fee is only paid annually, there's consistent income and cash flow from new enrollments, from new patients that you're signing up the plan on a month-by-month basis, and also then once you've gotten in a year to your established dental membership plan, you also have those re-enrollments from the people that have been signed up a year ago. So no matter what the payment plan, you're getting consistent income throughout the year. And when your schedule is light, or you have a couple hygiene appointments canceled, it's nice to still have some cash coming in to help offset your expenses. Another benefit is patient loyalty. We already touched on this briefly, but it really is worth mentioning again. We've seen a lot more patient loyalty when there is a dental membership plan in place. When the patient signs up for the plan, the relationship between the practice and the doctor and the patient is strengthened. They're more likely to schedule their preventative care since they've already paid for it, and they're more likely to accept the restorative and cosmetic treatment plans because of the discount that they're getting. So now that we've discussed what a dental membership plan is and why you may want to offer one from both the practice's perspective and the patient's perspective, let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about how to get one started. I've broken up the steps to get started into design, educate, and market. One of the first things we want to consider with the design is pricing. What is the fee and when is it paid, annually, quarterly, or monthly? What we've seen work really well is an annual fee that's paid up front. Then you're not needing to worry about your staff sending out monthly invoices or using a third-party provider to help generate those monthly payments for the dental membership plan. What we're seeing for fees, nationally, the average we're seeing right now for an adult plan for an annual membership fee is between $300 and $325 a year. But this really is based on marketplace. There's some marketplaces where the annual fee might be as low as $250, or here in the Dane County and southern Wisconsin area, we're seeing an average price of $325 per year and up based on an adult plan. Children's plans are usually priced a little lower. Perio, obviously with the frequency in the appointments, is priced higher. Next on the list is what to offer as a discount. Typically what we see is offering a 10 to 15% discount, but you might want to compare the discount you offer with your dental membership plans to the rate that you're getting from your insurance companies already, and really what kind of discount are you willing to offer these patients? What works for your practice? And we can help you evaluate that. We also recommend having a different discount available if the patient pays via cash or check, and a lesser discount if they make a payment with credit card. Because think about it, you're probably paying the credit card processing company 2 to 3% to charge those credit card payments. So our recommendation is when someone's paying with credit card, it's great to get that cash, but you might want to offer them a slightly lesser discount to help offset the cost that you have to process their credit card. Next in the plan design is considering what services are included. What are you going to cover with the annual fee? Andy's going to get into the specifics a little bit more on another slide or two. But the other things you'll want to consider are you offering a discount on ortho? Are you offering a discount on cosmetic? Depending on what your level of services are to your patients, you may or may not want to offer discounts on some of that specialty work such as orthodontia or cosmetic services. The next area here is educate, 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 and really this is broken down into 3 different categories. You want to make sure your front desk staff are educated on the details of the membership plan so that when they are fielding the calls from both your current patients that might want to consider the plan or potential new patients, they're the first point of contact when someone calls into your practice. So you need to make sure your front desk are educated on the plan and the benefits from the patient's perspective. Next, you want to consider that once those patients are into your clinic and in their seat, make sure your hygienists understand the plan and its benefits as well so they can talk about the services that are included and the discounts that they would see on additional services that they may need while they're in your clinic. In both these cases, you might want to develop a script or use a script to use in your training of your front desk and your hygiene staff. And ultimately, the goal is to educate your patients, to tell your patients about the plan, both in your office and when they're tooling around on your website. And again, when you're implementing a plan, that's a great opportunity for a marketing push on what a dental membership plan is. And then let's look at who you can market and how you can market. First and foremost, you need to have it up on your website so that people can look at it on their own time. Consider putting a Q&A page out there about your dental membership plan and cover the basics of what it is, how it works, what's in the fine print, and what's covered versus what isn't. Another consideration is, will your patients be able to sign up and pay online, or will they need to call your office in order to join your membership plan? And then in your office, what you want to do is put your marketing material in your lobby and at the front desk as a brochure so that you can hand it out and use it as a resource when you're discussing it with your patients. And also, what could you be doing in your marketing department in your surrounding area to help create awareness in your area about the new dental membership plan that you're offering? To reach out to potential new patients might just be the push that someone needs when they're considering a new dentist, the fact that you offer a dental membership plan. Now, Andy, can you share some thoughts with us, more specifics on the pricing aspect?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's very key. How do you set that price? So what we would say is we see that the average plan is discounted by 10%. We've seen, though, up to 15% in the market. I think it's important once you determine that discount to really compare it to your insurance contracts to really see the effect there. And as Laura alluded to before, you know, you can do a different discount depending on whether they're paying cash or check or credit card, because again, you got to adjust thinking of how profitable that plan is really going to be to you. And in addition, consider a one-time setup fee, you know, to cover those administrative costs, or maybe if it's a brand new patient, you got to give them that comprehensive exam. So maybe it's a slightly different fee structure if it's a brand new patient. Next, you got to consider what's covered in that annual fee. You know, typically, again, we see the exam, the cleanings, and the x-ray. But again, you got to determine that specific to your practice. So again, once you determine those services, the fee is for those services, less the discount that you're willing to offer. And if I take a step back, you know, first you got to make sure, are your fees currently at market rate? You know, we strongly encourage our clients to always routinely be doing a fee survey to make sure their fees are competitive with the market for the services they're providing. So you got to make sure that your fees are in line. Next, compare that to your competitors. You know, what we see is that these dental membership plans are marketed on websites, okay? You can see the specifics of the plan for your competitors, okay? So if it's apples to apples, if you're offering the same services in your plan as your competitor down the street, there's no sense in your plan being significantly higher or significantly lower than your competitor. So go out there and take a look to see what your competitors are offering. Have a story. Why are you doing this? Why are you rolling out to your patients? What's the benefit to them? Have a great story behind your membership plan. And, you know, lastly, know your patients. You know, this isn't one size fits all. You have to know your patient base. You have to know their expectations in terms of treatment and level of care that you're going to provide them. So, you know, consider that aspect as you're developing your price and your plan. Now that we've talked about price, I want to talk about some special considerations that you should keep in mind as you're putting together your plan. Make sure you don't combine this with care credit, okay? It's one or the other. You know, if they're going to do care credit, then they don't get the DMP discount. As Laura alluded to, consider timing. Are you going to require an annual payment, or are you going to be more lenient and allow patients to do a quarterly or a monthly payment? You have to balance the increased administration time of doing 12 or 4 payments per year versus 1, and compare that to routine cash flow. Are you going to get cash flow throughout the year versus a big lump of cash flow at the beginning of the year? What we would say is most plans are an annual fee paid right up front, but again, you can tailor that to the expectations of your patients. And then for any additional services that you offer, like a crown, it would be the same, where you would expect payment to be due in full at the time of service. Please have a tracking system. You need to know who has signed up for your plan, when they signed up, and when they're about to renew. You need to keep track of how profitable your plan is based on the fee that you're offering, and if patients are actually showing up for service and how often they're showing up. And then you also have to keep track of any patients who might cancel the membership in your plan. Automatic re-enrollment. We encourage you to design a plan that lets patients know that their fee and their membership is going to renew automatically. It really puts the responsibility on the patient, number one, to show up for the services they've signed up for and paid for, and also to opt out and cancel that plan if they no longer feel they want to participate. Think about Amazon Prime these days. It auto-renews. Okay, every year, whether you realize it or not, it auto-renews. You got to charge. And statistics show that Amazon Prime members spend an average of $1,300 per year, while non-Prime members spend an average of $700 a year. So again, there is value in auto re-enrollment. Lastly, consider how you're going to administer your plan. Are you going to do it in-house, or are you going to outsource the administration of this plan? What we see most often is that practices keep the administration in-house. Number one, it keeps it simple. Number two, it's most cost-effective to you because you're not paying a third party to administer that plan. I know that's a lot of information, so Laura, can you kind of explain how SVA can help and really simplify this process?
Sure, yeah, and I think really hopefully our goal here was that we could demonstrate our expertise on helping set up and implement dental membership plans. But we've done a lot of work in how to price them, not just looking at the pricing of the dental membership plan, but also looking at your fee schedules. We do an annual fee schedule survey for the local areas to determine what the going rates are for services in the marketplace that we can use to make sure, A, a dental practice's fees are in line with what their competitors are charging, and then B, we also use that to help price out the dental membership plans. We can help you avoid some of the traps and concerns that we discussed and help you set up the reports that you need to monitor and track it as well. We also have great market knowledge of the Wisconsin marketplace for dental, who's doing dental membership plans, who isn't. And on the design side, we've also worked with the OCI to help make sure that the dental membership plans our clients are setting up aren't considered insurance plans, and we can use that expertise to help you. All in all, at the end of the day, we think that it's time for you and your practice to consider implementing a dental membership plan. And hopefully the information and perspectives that we shared with you today have given you the base knowledge to start considering it. And with that, our formulated slides are finished. Let's go to the question board and see if we have some questions from the audience. And if you haven't input yours yet, go ahead and take a moment to do that.
Yes, we did have a few questions come through earlier in the presentation. You may have already covered it, but let's ask the question so that you can emphasize the answer to it. The first one that came through was, how do I determine the level of discount to offer on the additional procedures?
I would say typically what we see in the market is a 15% discount on those additional procedures. Typically those are higher dollar value items like a crown, and so we typically see that 15%. But again, I think you got to take things into consideration. I think you got to look at your competitors down the street. You got to look to see what they're offering for discount on those services. I think you got to make sure that your fees are in line with market, number one. And then lastly, you just got to know your patient base and kind of know, what they're going to see as real value on the service that you're providing.
Great. The next question was how do I determine an annual fee? Should this be equal to the estimated service value covered for the plan year?
Normally what we do when we're starting up a dental membership plan is we first consider the procedures and services we're going to include in the dental membership plan. That typically is your bite wings, a couple cleanings, possibly a fluoride, depending on whether or not there's fluoride in your area. And then we look at the frequency of those services and then take that multiplied by your fee schedule rate for those to ultimately come up with what I would call the value of the dental membership benefits or the plan. And then we go ahead and look at those amounts and then calculate what a 10% increase would be, calculate what a 15% discount, a 10% discount would be, a 15% discount, and then look at what those rates are coming up with. And then we do two different things. I usually look at the marketplace and see, based on what the competitors in the marketplace are doing, are you right in line with that? And then I also have a conversation with the dentist on, hey, here's what the pricing looks like for the dental membership plan. Here's what your reimbursement is from some of your other insurers. Are you comfortable with this level of discount? Any new patient that a practice brings in, keep in mind you're really not increasing much of your overhead to see those patients other than some drugs and supplies, so it does help contribute more money to the bottom line.
All right, next question is, do you have your own tracking system or are you able to consult regarding how to track within PMS?
We do have our own tracking system. Being accountants, we have a spreadsheet, and we can easily help you to track the cost effectiveness of your dental membership plan.
What we're normally doing is working with our dental clients to help, we have some standard Excel spreadsheets that we're using and sharing with them to help set up the tracking mechanisms and the reporting mechanisms, and then helping them run the reports out of their practice management system to get the tracking information to really evaluate the financial successes it's having.
All right, and then the last question that we have time for is a pretty important one in my opinion. What if patients want their money back?
Well, I think the understanding at the outset with your patient on this plan is that it's really a use it or lose it, okay? So when a patient signs up for the plan and pays their annual fee, the understanding is it's non-refundable and they get the services that are included in the plan. Now, at the same time, you got to consider special circumstances on a case-by-case basis, okay? If there's, I don't have all the examples, but if there's a family emergency or someone's moving out of state, something very specific, and you want to consider that on a case-by-case basis, we certainly encourage that. But overall, it's really an annual fee for the services that are covered.
And that's one of the things that you include up front in the fine print, or, don't even make it fine, make it regular size font, but just say it's non-refundable, it's an annual fee. What you want to avoid is that patient coming for their first appointment the first month, their second appointment month 6, and then canceling the plan after that if they haven't prepaid for their full year.
Great. We want to thank you for tuning in to us today. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Andy. And I hope everybody has a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.